I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out, righteousness. The mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, I call him Pharaoh Eric Adams. Mr. Engineer, would you put up on the screen where this preacher, this Eric Adams, I believe pastor or pastor associate, do we have his picture? Well, look at those. Anyway, let's go back down to the text part. Put him back up again, and we'll get the text. And this is Eric Adams, pastor associate, one of the two. And he's been, Eric Adams and this flashy Brooklyn pastor, Bishop Lamar Whitehead, have been friends for many, many years. And could we show his picture again, Mr. Engineer? This was just recently posted in a New York newspaper, that this bishop was arrested, that the FBI arrested flashy Brooklyn pastor Bishop Lamar Whitehead for fraud and extortion. Now, this is the preacher. Now, the thing about this preacher is that I believe that he faked a robbery at his Brooklyn church. Now, he's only got about 15 members, but he drives a Rolls Royce, and he said that when the robbers came to his church that Sunday morning, they took $500,000 worth of jewelry off of him, $500,000 worth of jewelry off of his wife. That's $1 million in jewelry. And he made an insurance claim for that kind of money when they allegedly robbed him going back a couple of months ago. Now, they haven't busted him for staging a robbery, and I'm sure the insurance companies are investigating this boy every which kind of way to find out exactly who was in on that robbery. But the thing of it is that he's Eric Adams' #1 ace coon boom. And ace boom coon, and that ain't racist either. He and Eric Adams are tighter than two peas in a pod. I mean, what I want to know is why. Here's what I think. I say allegedly. I think they're both gay. Why would Eric Adams be hanging out with a con man like this Bishop Lamar, who conned one of his members out of $90,000, tried to con some other people out of $500,000? He's been conning people for years. It's been going on for years. Why would Eric Adams be so? And it took one picture together. You know, sometimes you're a public figure, preacher comes up to you, you take one picture, but you don't take no close-ups like this. I think they're both gay. I'm calling on District Attorney Alvin Bragg to investigate if this bishop who took money from poor people out there in Brooklyn has made any major contributions to Eric Adams' campaign. And I think that there ought to be an investigation into Eric Adams as to whether he has made or given special privilege or given an opportunity or been in any way a cohort to this so-called Bishop Lamar Whitehead having $1 million worth of jewelry and driving a $600,000 Rolls Royce. I mean, has Eric Adams been a front for any of that? I think it needs to be investigated. I think New York City needs to know if our mayor is gay. And if he is cohorting with a person that the federal FBI have arrested for fraud and extortion. I think New York City deserves better. I think, and Tish James, who is the Attorney General for the state of New York, there needs to be an investigation. I mean, if you search the net, there are hundreds of pictures of Eric Adams and Bishop, if con artist, Flim Flam Band, $600,000 Rolls Royce parked outside of a church with only 15 members in it. Where did they get that money from? Did Eric Adams, I think there needs to be an investigation. And New York City, I mean, we got enough crime going on. I think crime is going down everywhere. Even though we got street shootings in New York City, crime is going up in the politics of New York City. There needs to be an investigation, is what I'm calling for. And this boy, this flashy Brooklyn pastor, Bishop Lamar Whitehead, I want to also put my people on the case to find out, has it been a ring? Did he post bail? Did he call on Eric Adams to somehow or another to call the dogs off? Now, I'm not calling the FBI people dogs. That's not my intent. But how is he managing this arrest? What's going on with the church? Is he in contact with Eric Adams? I think we ought to know. I think we ought to know whether he's in contact with Eric Adams since he's been arrested. Is he still in a federal jail? Did he make bail? What's happening with the church? What's happening with the members? And by the way, I'm not here. I'm a pastor myself. I'm not here picking on him because he's a pastor. What I really, I think if, I see this going on. I think what's worse that he's gay. There's one thing that he's an extortionist. Another thing, he's a fraud and a flim-flam man. But the fact, what is it that these two men, why are they so tight? Why are these two men so tight? Look at them. Look at them. Nasty, nasty. Why are they so tight? I think New Yorkers ought to know if our mayor is gay. Now, if he ain't, I'll apologize. I'll stand on the steps of City Hall and apologize. But I think New Yorkers need to know if our mayor is gay and if he's hanging out with criminals, with con artists, with extortionists, with fraud, if you will, cheats. I think we New Yorkers ought to be able to know. And I want to know. I want to know if our mayor has anything to do with that $600,000 Rolls Royce that Bishop Lamar is driving, and if he had anything to do with that $1 million worth of jewelry he and his wife had on sitting up in the church with 15 members. I think we need to know. All right, listen, my friends, I wanted to be able to say those things to you. They're out to get me. They're out to get me. But I thank God for all of y'all that stand with me. Because I ain't gonna let them. Now, when I get some time to teach the boy manner, I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna do a David and Goliath on the melon bank. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on the melon bank and that foreclosure. You think that Eric Adams ought to come help me? An honest, loving pastor, Eric Adams ought to come here and help me rather than hanging out. But I ain't gay. Now, if that's what it takes to get help from Eric Adams, if it takes being gay, then I ain't going. If it takes me being gay to get help from Eric Adams or from Tish James, if they want me to be gay or if they don't want me to be gay, just support being gay, LGBT, I ain't going. But I think God is showing us something here. Now, the Lord is showing us they ought to be hanging out with Pastor Manning and not with this guy. Stole $90,000 from a woman who ain't got nothing. She's older and retired. He took all of her money, $90,000 worth of it. $90,000. Eric Adams. Anyway, I don't know how anybody can sit in the church with a clown like this anyway. This boy looks like he's fit for Barnum and Bailey, to be absolutely sure. What a clown suit that guy got on. Why would Eric Adams hang out with somebody that looks like a big cobra snake with a black head? Why would that, what? Anyway, I got to go, but I ain't through with this one. But they ought to get me, I want to let you know that, but I'm going to take down the melon bank. We're going to do it. Oh, we're going to do it. They done fooled around and picked on the wrong boy. This is it.